President of the Republic of South Africa, that is Cyril Ramaphosa, as the Constitutional Court actually rules in favor of the economic freedom first. That is the EFF led by Julius Malema. And the court found out that the process of actually voting to thwart the report, the independent panel report, that ruled that the President of South Africa, there was prima facie evidence that he is answerable to to the issues in Phalaphala, and we saw the ANC using its majority to actually vote against that report. The EFF then took the matter to the South African Constitutional Court, where things seems to be for the President of South Africa, that is Cyril Ramaphosa, and the court has ruled that the process which was used by the Parliament to nullify that report is inconsistent with the Constitution. In fact, let's listen to the judgment of the Constitutional Court. Greetings and welcome to your lovely channel, the Hloniphani Global News. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. Let's listen to the judgment.
The effect, conclusion is this. The effect of the three judgments is as follows. This court, A, unanimously finds that it has exclusive jurisdiction in respect of the challenge to the validity of Rule 129I. B, by a majority, finds that it does not have exclusive jurisdiction in respect of the challenge to the NA vote. C, by a majority, concludes that Rule 129 is inconsistent with the Constitution and invalid. D, by a majority, concludes that the NA vote is inconsistent with the Constitution and invalid. And E, by a majority, concludes that the report must be referred to the impeachment committee. As such, the following order is made. 1, this court has exclusive jurisdiction to hear the application with respect to the challenge to Rule 129I. 2, it is declared that Rule 129I of the 9th edition of the Rules of the National Assembly, the NA rules, is inconsistent with the Constitution, invalid, and it is set aside. 3, pending any amendment, Rule 129I of the NA rules shall read as follows, open quote, Rule 129I, heading Consideration and Referral of Panel Report. 1, once the panel has reported, the Speaker must inform the Assembly of the report. 2, the President must be provided with a copy of the report forthwith. 3, in the event the panel concludes that sufficient evidence exists as contemplated in Rule 129G, the matter must be referred to the impeachment committee established by this rule or by the National Assembly rules for that purpose. 4, in the event the panel concludes that sufficient evidence does not exist as contemplated in Rule 129G, the Speaker must schedule the report for consideration by the Assembly, and in the event the Assembly nonetheless resolves that a Section 89, subsection 1 inquiry be proceeded with, the matter must be referred to the impeachment committee established by this rule or by the National Assembly rules for that purpose. 4, the severance, sever, and reading in paragraph 3 of this order shall apply subject to any amendment by the National Assembly. 5, pending any amendment of the NA rules to the extent that any of the other NA rules are by implication affected by the reading in paragraph 3 of this order, those rules shall be read consistently with paragraph 3 of this order. This, and this. 6, it is declared that the vote of the National Assembly taken on 13 December 2022, declining to refer the report of the independent panel to an impeachment committee as envisaged in the NA rules, is inconsistent with the Constitution, invalid, and it is set aside. 7. The report of the independent panel is referred to the impeachment committee established in terms of the NA rules. 8. The first to fourth respondents are ordered to pay the cost of the first applicant, including cost of true counsel where applicable. I held down the judgment.
Well, so that was the judgment which was handed by the Chief Justice Meyer of the Republic of South Africa, and things are not looking good for the President of South Africa, as hopes for impeachments are revived now, and the independent panel report is back again to the Parliament. It will be a headache to Cyril Ramaphosa, which means there are processes that the Parliament has now to undertake to actually establish whether that prima facie evidence can be translated to actually criminal evidence. So this is politically not looking good for the President of the Republic of South Africa. So the National Assembly vote, the court find it to be inconsistent with the Constitution of South Africa. It is thwarted, which means that report is back again to the National Assembly. And also this speaks volumes about the National Assembly Speaker, but well, she is no longer there. I think it was Mapisa Ngabula. So it is of no, otherwise she was bound to face a vote of no confidence based on this also constitutional judgment in the manner he handled actually this particular case. Political parties like EFF definitely they were going to call for her impeachment. So the report to the report, independent panel report, it will be referred now to the impeachment committee, and if the impeachment committee establishes that indeed there are reasonable grounds for the President of South Africa to be impeached, there is high probability he may be impeached. And this puts political parties such as Democratic Alliance, those political parties who are part of the government of national unity, it exposes them now because if this matter has to be processed by Parliament and they are expected to vote during impeachment, if they vote to defend the President of South Africa, definitely that will stain them as opposition political parties. So this court judgment altogether will shake the government of national unity. Political parties would love to actually align with the judgment of the Constitutional Court, and also those who wants to take over from Cyril Ramaphosa at the moment, it's a bonus to them because they will use this judgment, especially within the supreme decision, National Executive Council of the ANC, to push also for president to resign and deal with this Phalaphala farm. So politically, it has been a blow for the President of South Africa and also for the economic freedom fighters. This is a good score, considering that we are months away from the elections in South Africa. And also I must underscore that EFF's handling also of African migrants, I can tell you they will score a lot in my view through that, because migrants who are naturalized will find themselves voting for the economic freedom fighters, and also South Africans married to migrants will find themselves voting for the economic freedom fighters. So it's a big score for the economic freedom fight. You know, last time when I was analyzing elections in South Africa, people thought that I was praising the MK party, but I was looking at evidence, and I was right to say it will be amongst the top 3 political parties. It was, but this time around, I see EFF, it will shock and surprise a lot of people because of its political strategy. It has been working, and also because of the consistency of Julius Malema, and also political astuteness. In my view, I know it may be questionable to other people, but this is a big score for to actually, and they have, EFF have for the second time, and this I foresee it taking down Cyril Ramaphosa. They took down Jacob Zuma, and now they gunned for Cyril Ramaphosa. And I must attest to you that it appears they are winning. This gives them an upper hand. Now, definitely taking this matter to the Constitutional Court, they had a strategy. So it means their strategy has been successful, and whatever they are planning post this judgment is bound also to be successful. And the success story of the EFF is shaking the government of national unity in South Africa. At the moment, the stakeholders in that government, I'm sure, they are quite shaken by this report. And there is high probability that Ramaphosa may not finish his term, as much as he was the right man for the job at the moment, at this critical time, because of his composure. South Africa needed also a man like him, but I don't see him surviving. There are a lot of hyenas and vultures within the ANC also that wants him gone. So this also gives them an upper hand. Thank you very much for watching us. If you are watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. You can financially support this channel by pressing the join button and be part of our members who are the heartbeat of this channel. Do so by pressing the thanks button and send us stars. Umhlabane is signing off. Let me